In the spring of 1976, while in rehearsals for the off-Broadway play Knock Knock, a young Morgan Freeman happened upon a performance at the legendary CBGB's. The show he saw was none other than the Ramones. Freeman was electrified by the performance and vowed to play that very stage one day. He left the play and spent his days and nights reconnecting with his bass guitar and writing material for his first album, which was recorded in January of 1977. Freeman continued to play in the New York punk scene, and the album had a limited release. But it wasn't long after that acting opportunities pulled Freeman away from full-time music, but he continued to make appearances at punk rock shows through the years, continuing to this day. Hello! A punk rock song from 1977 sung by Morgan Freeman needs really no other reason to exist other than the fact that it exists. Personally, I laughed like 300 times making this thing, so I hope it brought a smile to your face. So far on this channel, I've made 4 videos on how musicians can use AI as a creative and collaboration tool. Those videos, I showed some examples, but I was doing a lot more telling than showing. So I figured it was time to take some of the stuff that I was talking about and either put up or shut up. And thus, Morgan Freeman.
Got to be here.
So there are a bunch of celebrity AI voice changers out there. But what's funny is that consistently the one voice that they all have, Morgan Freeman. All I'm saying is that if we do end up in some kind of AI apocalypse and the robots take over, I mean, maybe they'll all sound like Morgan Freeman.
Destroy human.
So why punk rock? The simplest answer is because it would be the easiest to produce. I love punk, I listen to a lot of punk, and I've played in punk rock bands. So I knew that it wouldn't take me a whole lot of time to put this thing together. Plus, because the concept was that it was a lost album from 1977, I didn't have to get hung up in sort of the production details. It could sound a little less than perfect, and that'd be okay. Stylistically for the song, I was kind of aiming for an early Descendants kind of vibe, maybe a little touch of Everything Sucks thrown in there. That song, by the way, is the greatest song in the world to drive to work to. If you haven't heard it, seriously, go change that right now. Everything Sucks by the Descendants. It's awesome. Now, we've chosen a singer, we've written the music, and now it's time to write lyrics. I'm not a great lyricist, but luckily, we have ChatGPT, the tool beloved by 10th graders, with an essay due tomorrow. And while I admit the chorus of I'm a Free Man on a song sung by Morgan Freeman is a little on the nose, in this case, it was actually just kind of so boneheaded it worked. After feeding the lyrics through an AI generator, this is some of the stuff that I got back.
Break these chains, make us stand.
There were some things that, like, no matter how hard I tried, I just could not get the AI to say it correctly, like democracy.
Democracy.
I had a trick going where I would spell words out phonetically, and sometimes that would work. But I did end up having this like weird epiphany while I was smashing my head into the keyboard, and that was to respect the AI for its creative choices. It's kind of a bizarre thought, but since AI Morgan Freeman was so insistent on that read, maybe I should just roll with it. It turns out it became one of my favorite parts of the song. It's just so bizarre, it's almost a hook unto itself.
They say we've got democracy.
The AI read was pretty flat, obviously, so to turn it to singing, I ended up using a pitch correction software.
Free man, they say I am. But these chains, they weigh me down. Free man, they say I am. But these chains, they weigh me down.
For the crazy imagery, I ended up using Midjourney, which is an AI text-to-image platform. Its photography skills, insane. That said, there is still a ton of jank that you've got to roll through, sometimes hilariously so. There are images where it just decides to go rogue and kind of do its own style. From time to time, there's some extra limbs. The one that I found pretty interesting was the insistence that as soon as you put a bass guitar in Morgan Freeman's hands, he turns into Jimi Hendrix. I got to admit, that's a resemblance I never picked up on until Midjourney showed me. And as it turns out, it's a whole conspiracy theory unto itself. So where is all of this stuff leading? In the case of this song, nowhere. I mean, my hope is that at best, somebody gets a Mandela effect out of it. But I think it's a good example of how anybody can do anything these days with very minimal tools. Hey, sorry for the abrupt ending. During the edit, I kind of noticed that I lost the script at the back end. It was a lot of pontificating and rambling about AI. It was terrible, it was kind of pretentious, and it really annoyed me. So as the editor, I just cut the whole thing out. Ultimately, I think all I was really trying to say anyhow was that we have these cool tools available to us, so, you know, go out and use them, make stuff. I plan to continue to make interesting stuff with AI, at least stuff that's interesting to me. So if you enjoyed this, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. And I'm really curious to hear what you guys thought of the project as a whole, like the song, the whole crazy backstory at the beginning and the production. So please, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions even, just go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And lastly, as I said in the original video, if you are Morgan Freeman and you want to punch me in the face, just reach out. I mean, I definitely owe you that. Thanks so much for watching all the way to here. Take care, everybody.